AFTV, time to get into the player ratings, Marty. 1-0 to the Arsenal. And I'm just like you in your interview. Anytime we beat Chelsea, I absolutely love it.
Yes.
Jason Cundy, Matisse. Yeah.
Has anyone seen Chelsea? No. Has anyone seen Chelsea? Where are they? We're Stamford Bridge. Yeah,
I tell you what, right? I've heard Chelsea fans moaning this season about their team. I can see why. I mean, it was actually like watching a very poor Arsenal play Arsenal.
Yeah.
Because they do a lot of what we do, like pass, but they've got absolutely nothing in the final third. I know they're missing Jackson and that's why we're going to get to Marino. That's why you've got to big him up, because in a game like this, that's what flipped the script. It was Marino, but let's get into it.
Yep.
David Raya in goal.
8. I thought he was good. Listen, he don't have much to do in saves, but consistency, distribution, handling. There was one ball that came in which he sort of slightly fumbled, but that's a hard ball on a quick, wet surface. Yeah. And listen, it didn't go in the back of the net, and he dealt with it. And I just think that he's a standout performer, and he kept a clean sheet.
You're giving him an 8. I'm going to give him a 7.
Okay.
Reason why is that he did nearly let one in, though. That one that went through his. I was like, yo, he got lucky, and he got lucky. He could have went in that, you know what I mean? So for that, everything else about his game today was brilliant, but that was really uncharacteristic. Yeah. He's been brilliant this season, but I think I'll give him a 7. Yuri and Timber.
7. I thought he was good good. He was good up and down. Very good defensively. He didn't engage in any of Chelsea's housery and their, sort of negative tactics. I just thought he had a good, solid game, and he again, what you're getting from Jurien Timber. He played well.
I'm going to give him an 8, okay. Marty. I thought he was brilliant today.
He was.
You think of it, right? The Neto. They even switching wings. Neto and Sancho. They didn't even get a sniff.
They didn't.
They didn't get a sniff out of him. I thought he was outstanding today. 8.
Okay.
On the other wing, Mars Lewis Skelly.
I love this guy. I really do. I think he's fantastic. He was up and down. He was in, and he's got bite. And it's for these derby games, having a player like that knows what it means to Arsenal Football Club. He knows what it means to wear the shirt. He gets around, and I thought, he kept a clean sheet as well. And he was part of this back four that kept a clean sheet. I'll say on that, it's a fair point, and I'll go with Timber on an 8, and I'll give Skelly an 8.
I agree with that. I agree. He's got to be an 8 for Skelly. I thought he was brilliant today, confident, the way he uses his body. You know what, right? I know a scout at Arsenal, right? And he reminded me, he goes, Robbie, remember when I sent you this?
Yeah.
Right? It was from 2020, and he said there's a kid in the under 14s called Mars Lewis Skelly. Watch out for him. And look now what he's doing. And he fully deserves his England call-up. What a player we've got here.
Yeah.
Saliba.
8. Part of this back four that kept a clean sheet against Chelsea. As Ryan would say, they parked the bus like a mad thing.
Yeah.
And that's it. They were solid all game. Saliba clearing up, running back, putting in tackles where he needs to, distributing well.
Calm.
Just he's like that Rolls Royce defender that's
so
just
calm,
silky smooth. The way that this guy plays football in games like this, and that is the player that we need going into this Madrid game.
8 for me as well.
Yeah.
Solid. That back four is going to be so important. Gabriel.
8.
Yeah, 8 for me as well.
For me, with Saliba and Gabriel, you get this yin and yang, where Gabriel does the nasty work. It's like Adams and Bold. He does the nasty work, gets involved, he's got the bite, and Saliba's just a cool, calm, collected customer.
Yeah, I thought Gabriel was brilliant today as well, aggressive, you know what I mean, like, you couldn't get past him. Basically, Chelsea, it's almost like today, Chelsea run up towards our back four, that's what I mean, they just couldn't penetrate at all. You know what I mean? So 8 for him. Thomas Partey.
I thought Thomas Partey was good.
Yeah.
I thought he really had a handle on the game. Controlled the midfield. And when you look at Caicedo compared to him, or even Enzo, plays in a slightly different position, they were miles apart in class and control. That's what you need in a game like this, is to get the game by the scruff of the neck and to distribute the ball and break up play. And he did that fantastically.
What are you giving him?
I'm going to give him an 8.
I agree with that. I thought Partey was excellent today. Declan Rice, another player, absolutely superb today. Ooh, is he? He's got a shout for man of the match. He was absolutely brilliant today. But I'm going to give him an 8 as well. Solid, brilliant, up and down, tempo. He's back to his best. You said it in your interview. He's back to his best.
For me, Declan Rice gets my man of the match. He gets a 9 for his desire in the game, how he controlled that midfield. He was in, he was around, and he didn't take any crap off of any of the Chelsea players, and he got involved when he needed to, but kept his head, kept his cool, and listen, you can see why he is such a huge player for Arsenal. And it's games like this where he did all the work that you needed him to do, and some of it goes unnoticed, some of it off the ball work.
Yeah, and listen, he's up against 2 midfielders today. There's 3 midfielders in that game that
One of them's a World Cup winner.
All cost over 100 million.
Yeah.
Right, Enzo, Caicedo and him, and he was by far the best out of all 3 of them. Big up to Declan Rice. Martin Odegaard?
8. I thought he was really good. Yeah, go on.
I'm giving him a 7.
Really?
Yeah, 7. Mainly based on his first half performance.
Okay.
I didn't think he was great in the second half. I thought in the second half he kept giving the ball away. Remember that time when he did that little flick? And they won the ball. I was like, yo, now we need to control it a bit. I thought he dropped off in the first half. Really, really good. Really good.
Yeah.
Second half fell off for me. That's why I give him a 7.
But then there were a couple of times when he did those flicks and they came
First
off.
half.
Yeah.
Second half he fell off for me.
Okay, in the first an 8, and then second I'd give him a 7.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to give him a 7 overall.
Okay. All right.
Well, you still going to give him an 8?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Stick with that.
Martinelli.
I thought Martinelli was good. I know it sounds like I'm just giving everyone 8s, but I just, across the board. But again, he was up and at that Chelsea defence, and there are a couple of times in the first half when I see him going in behind. Now, Martinelli, for me, has been playing with a handbrake on for quite a while before his injury. He's just come back from a long injury layoff as well with this hamstring injury. And it was really nice to see him go past Cucurella. And listen, Cucurella's no mug.
Yeah,
as much as whoever hates him or whatever, and I don't particularly like him, if he plays for you, then yeah. But Martinelli skinned him, went round him with ease a couple of times. And I really like seeing him playing that, back to your best. That's what I want from Gabriel Martinelli. And he hasn't been doing that for so long.
What are you giving him?
I'm going to give him an 8 and all.
I'm going to give him a 7. You're right, he skinned Cucurella a couple of times, and Cucurella's been brilliant this season.
Yeah.
Right, we see Cucurella even lock up Saka this season. You know what I mean? So I thought Martinelli played well, but he missed a few chances, man. I think he had a couple of chances. I was like, be a bit more composed on her. But he's just coming back, so we got to remember that. On the other side, Trossard.
7. Trossard was good. Trossard was lively, and I don't. He had a good game, but not worthy of an 8.
I'm with the 7. I'm with the 7. He again missed a couple of chances.
Yeah.
Wanted him to be a bit more precise on a couple of chances, but he was decent. Mikel Merino.
Again, look, he popped up with that goal when we needed him to pop up with a goal. So I'm going to go with it's an 8 or a 9. It's an 8 or a 9.
But if you give him a 9, he's your man in the match.
No, I'm giving him an 8.
Okay.
He popped up with a goal when we needed him to, and he won us the match. For me, this game was a tight game, and winning 1-0 against the Chelsea team, which can be very inconsistent. For me, they either lose heavily, or they can put teams away. They can really hurt teams. Mikel Merino was part of that 1-0 performance with that great goal. It was a really good headed goal.
I'm going to give him an 8, but he's my man in the match.
Okay.
Right, that goal was huge. That's the moment of the match. That's the goal that's won the game. And he had the other bit of chance as well, which was a good save by Sanchez. He was definitely our best. Definitely, actually, no, 9. He's our best player on the pitch.
Okay.
He's our best player on the pitch, right? Because he came up with a big moment. So he's got to get the 9 for me. All right, let's run through some of the subs quickly. There was only a few Ethan Wanieri, we're not long.
6.
Standard 6. Kieran Tierney.
6.
I hardly even touch the ball, did he? And that was it, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was it for the subs.
Just them two. You only went a couple of subs.
The manager.
Referee.
4, yeah.
I thought the referee was all right, actually. The only thing I'd say with the referee, right, is there was a time, I think it was Fofana. Should have been booked.
Yeah.
It's almost like he forgot about it because Neto come in his face and started. He booked Neto. That was the right thing to do, but he forgot about Fofana. I thought he handled the game pretty well.
I thought he had a good handle on the game, full stop. And these derby games can get really out of hand.
Yeah, I mean,
very
how many
quickly.
times Chelsea players get falling on the floor, riling about, moaning? The referee just ignored it. I thought he did a good job.
I'd give him a 7, yeah.
Yeah, 7.
Yeah, well, you're tempted to give him an 8. That's very generous.
Yeah, no, because he missed that incident. 7.
Feeling
Right?
generous today.
Arteta.
He got the selection right. He set out well. It's very easy at 1-0 in a derby game to think, right, let's go and embarrass Chelsea. We've done it before. Put 5 past them. That wasn't going to happen today because we ain't got the firepower. And he understood what the team needed to do in this situation. It was all about getting 3 points, and sometimes you've got to do it a bit ugly, and we did that today. I'd give him an 8. I thought it was, calculated. Keeping it tight. It was a very professional performance.
Yeah, I'll give him an 8. I would have liked to see more goals. I like
of course, you always do.
Always love to smash Chelsea.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like, I wanted a 5 like last year. But listen, we're coming off
one was good as well.
we're coming off a little run where we ain't won for a few games. It's about getting back to winning ways. It's got us back to winning ways. He started Marino. That was his choice. Marino comes up with a goal. You know what I mean? Yeah, 8. And the fans today?
Look, I'm going to say a 7, and the reason why there's a few empty. I keep seeing a few empty seats in the stadium. This is a derby game that this should be packed out. This place completely packed out, and
only a few.
There was a few in the upper tier. Can get a little, and I just don't like seeing it. I'm really grateful personally to come to football on a Sunday afternoon and enjoy it, and that's just how I see it. They were good. They weren't as vocal as other times, but there were some points. There were, it was good 7. I think
that's probably fair enough. I think 7's fair. Yeah, 7's fair. Well, listen, it's another win over Chelsea for Arsenal. You know what I mean? I can't remember the last time they beat us. I think Drogba was playing. I think it's the last time they beat us. You know what I mean? It ain't for ages, man. John Terry and them, man. That was the last time when they used to beat us.
Can we Ray Lewington and all that?
Yeah. Can we play you every week, Chelsea? You know what I mean? Because it's a light work, man. You know what I mean? But listen, big win for Arsenal. Back to winning ways. Let's keep it going. That big game against Real Madrid coming up. Let's go into that with some momentum.